What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Sam Dunks, the weekly NBA show over here at SlabStox. I'm your host, Sam. Today, we are in the midst of the 2021 NBA Finals. Just last night, as I'm recording this, last night was Game 3, and the Milwaukee Bucks 120-100 victory over the Phoenix Suns. Now, as a diehard, irrational Homer Bucks fan, I'm not really going to try to be unbiased at all. That would be pretty difficult. So instead of going in depth into any players or what we're seeing on the court or anything like that, and then make you roll your eyes and exit out of the video early, today we're just going to throw a whole ton of charts at you. I think like 19 or 20 or 21 different charts. We're going to be looking at the 4 most important players in the NBA Finals. There's a lot of interesting things that we can find here, and let's just jump right into it. All right, first card we're going to look at is Deandre Ayton's Select Courtside Silver PSA 10 rookie card. You look over the past month or so, a little over a month. The first sale that I could find came from on June 3rd. But in that time period, his card is up 36.59%. Of course, Courtside, it's a short printed card already. Silver, even more rare. So a really excellent card. Deandre Ayton, can't understate how well he's been playing. Certainly deserves all of the game that he's seen here so far. I pulled up here, if you're watching on YouTube, I pulled up here his game scores are in the bar graphs there. Game scores, that's a kind of like an all-encompassing stat that just takes everything into account that they did on the court during the game. You see in the first round, he was quite good. Second round, less effective, didn't really matter. The Suns didn't really need him. That really high-profile third-round series against the Los Angeles Clippers, Deandre Ayton was excellent. And at that time, we see that jump in prices, all-time high for this card. And it's cooled off just a little bit here going into the finals. But Deandre Ayton, he's been excellent. Can't say enough good things about him. Looking at his Prism Silver PSA 10 rookie card, again, since May 23rd, which is when the playoffs started, since May 23rd, we've seen an 18% rise in prices. Pretty up and down along the way, but generally a pretty steady increase right along. Again, we bring it over the game score chart there. I have, if you're looking at the grid on the bottom, I have those backwards, but his game scores, those are in the bar graphs. Again, first couple rounds when no one really knew what the Suns were going to do, we see his card kind of a little bit lackluster. Once it looked like they were going to beat the Clippers, all of a sudden we really see it start spiking in value, heading right into the NBA Finals against the Bucks. So Deandre Ayton's been playing excellent. A lot of his cards are just doing really, really well right now on the card market. Even his base PSA 10 rookie card. So many people have been calling that, base rookies, some of the higher volume cards are pretty much dead. Not totally true, not across the board anyways. You would need a unique circumstance like this one for a base rookie card to be really skyrocketing in value. This is up 51.92% since the beginning of the NBA playoffs. So again, I'm not saying you should go out and start buying up base Prism rookie cards. There's just so many available. It's going to be really hard to drive the price up too much. But with Deandre Ayton, the way he's been playing, the way he's been impressing, getting on the national spotlight, this card is up quite a bit, over 50%. Really good stuff from Deandre Ayton. Even his orange laser PSA 10 rookie card, I just pulled this card up because I like the look of it. I like the orange with the Phoenix uniforms there. After that third round, obviously there's only 4 sales here on the chart, but after that third round victory over the Clippers, getting into the playoffs, clinching that finals berth for the Suns, we see it just skyrocketing and at $400. That's all-time high for this card. It's settled in around $200, but that still represents a 94.71% rise in value over the lengths of this playoff. So pretty much anywhere you look for Deandre Ayton, his cards are up. Centers, obviously not like the most coveted cards out there. But Deandre Ayton, he's proving that as a 7-footer in 2021, you can still get the job done. You can still do enough to really excite people. Plays defense. He crashes the boards. He drives to the hoop. He has these thunderous dunks. Just a ton of stuff that he's been doing really, really well. That's exciting Suns fans and exciting a lot of people that are watching him play for the first time. I saw this tweet today from Hardwood Paroxysm. I think I just said that wrong, but the Bucks are +3 in the Giannis Ayton minutes last night, +21 in Giannis non-Ayton minutes, and -20 in Ayton non-Giannis minutes. Basically, he goes on in the next tweet in the thread. Excuse me. Basically, the Bucks can't afford to sit Giannis, and the Suns can't afford to sit Ayton. Yeah, a big part of that game last night was that Ayton got into foul trouble pretty early. Of course, a lot of that had to do with Giannis just relentlessly attacking the basket. But yeah, Ayton got in foul trouble. He had to sit more often than normal. And when he was sitting, the Bucks really ended up killing the Suns. So, obviously, Chris Paul, he's been a big focus of the Suns' success this year, and for good reason. Last year didn't make the playoffs. Bring in Chris Paul, bring in Jay Crowder, all of a sudden they're one of the best teams in basketball by far. But the improvement of Deandre Ayton, that just has a huge deal to go with everything that the Suns have been doing. Oh, my mouse is on the screen this entire time. Sorry about that. Yeah, Deandre Ayton, what he does defensively and also what he's been contributing offensively, not making too many boneheaded errors. It's just been really awesome. Now, the other side of this tweet, Giannis Antetokounmpo, obviously just been just a superhero for the Bucks. So what does that mean for his card market? Not much. We're looking at his 2013 Select Base PSA 10 rookie card is down 42.83% since the beginning of the NBA playoffs. It's just so offensive to me. Now, look, I'm a diehard Bucks fan. I love Giannis. I love the Bucks. Have for a long time. And I really, really was thinking that if the Bucks got in the finals, it'd be the most exciting time of my life. Really, it's just been like super high anxiety the entire time. Yeah, I'm excited after the Bucks win like they did last night or any of the series up to this point, but it's just been high stress, high heart rate. I'm glad I haven't had to visit the doctor in this time, or else they'd probably put me on some sort of medication for high heart rate. But yeah, Giannis, just again, it's offensive. I hate the look of these charts. Every single one of these pretty much is just going to make me grumpy to look at again. But down 42.83% has nothing to do with the way he's playing on the court and has everything to do with a host of other factors, which I won't try and venture into. But if you want to sound off in the comments about why you think these things are happening, so long as they're pro-Bucks takes, I'll take them. Yeah, we just see a pretty downward trajectory all the way around. This June 12th sale of just under $400, man, that stinks. I looked at it. It was a 3-day auction. There's 51 bids on it, only 9 different bidders, and everything seemed normal, but it just ended like way below anything else. So stinks for the guy that sold it. The guy that bought it could sell it right away the next day for like 3 times profit, but sometimes that's just what happens. You look at his 2013 Panini Hoops PSA 10 rookie card, again, down 29.36%. Look, I know that these are base cards we're talking about, and his Hoops, that's it's a paper-based card, so it's not like the most exciting card in the world, but these are relatively low population compared to a lot of the other cards, like Deandre Ayton's that we just looked at. There's just not a whole ton of them available compared to the current modern NBA market. But again, for a player that won MVP 2 years in a row, that has just been cruising through the playoffs, just excellent play right along the way, down 29.36%. It's almost unexplainable unless you venture into all the reasons why, which are I think stupid reasons why his cards are down. Looking at his 2013 Panini Gold Standard BGS 95 RPA rookie card. Again, down 17.5% since the beginning of June. Now, obviously not the most sought-after card in the world, but by the way, Giannis, he changed his autograph. Probably a lot of you know this, but maybe some of you don't. He changed his autograph. Originally, his rookie year, he had more of a fully drawn out Giannis Akubo type of look to it, and when he was drafted, it was kind of debated what his name really was. Was it Adetokounmpo or was it Antetokounmpo? One was a Nigerian spelling, one was a Grecian spelling. So he used that Nigerian spelling for some of these. So if you are in the market for a Giannis autograph and you can find one of these more fully spelled out cards, my prediction is that long term, those are going to be much more valuable than otherwise. But this one down 17.5% during that time. His Net Marvels 2019. I love the Net Marvels inserts that we've seen from Donruss the last 2 years. PSA 10, it is down 5.25%. So not a huge drop by any means, but still is down since the beginning of the NBA playoffs. Seen a bit of a rise recently, but that's just on one sale, so it's really hard to make much of that. But yeah, so down during that time. Again, pretty frustrating as a Bucks fan to see. There's one card that, well, there's a couple cards that are up, but one card that I could chart actually that is up over that time. That's his 2013 Select Base in-person auto. There's like 17 of these, and I don't know what the story behind them is. I don't know if someone went and got them all signed and then submitted them all, but they've been selling quite a bit lately. It's it says Giannis, and then below that it says Greek Freaks. Pretty much a pretty sweet card. But during this time period that we're looking at, since the beginning of the NBA playoffs, it is actually up 65.36%. That's like one of the biggest rises of any Giannis cards, especially any Giannis rookie cards, since the beginning of the playoffs. Pretty interesting. Usually you wouldn't expect, an in-person auto to be one of these big risers, but we've seen a pretty consistent rise right along the way. Giannis has been just excellent. Last night's game, his game score was 37.4. Again, game score just kind of encapsulates everything that they did during the game, boils it down into one unique or convenient stat. Looking in NBA history since like the 80s when they came up with game score, there's only been 14 players that had a game score in the NBA Finals over 37. Giannis is one of them. He's like, I don't know why. I tried to sort this low to high. If you're watching the YouTube video, low to high. And for whatever reason, Basketball Reference, it wasn't sorting it for me. But Giannis, he was like 12th on this list, 37.4. One of the few players in NBA history to get a game score, have that good of a game. 41 points, shot really well from the field. 76% of his free throws, which is awesome for Giannis. 13 rebounds, 6 assists. Only 2 players in NBA history have had back-to-back 40-point, 10-rebound games in the finals. That's Shaquille O'Neal, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I know ESPN said that LeBron James did it. Also, he did not. His second game, he only had 8 rebounds. They got that wrong. But again, Giannis, he's just playing at an all-time level. Not just all-time for him, but all-time in NBA history. But after last night's game, ESPN, all they're showing is the Cam Johnson dunk over PJ Tucker, which was an awesome dunk. But it's like Giannis is playing, an all-time level right now. He's silencing a lot of the doubts that have been raised against him. And all through the playoffs, all we're getting is stinking fans chanting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to 13. I'm frustrated. Sorry. I said I wouldn't let my biases show. I totally lied. I may not be a smart man, but there's something fishy going on with the Giannis card market, and it's not right. And if the Bucks win, a lot of these cards really should start turning around pretty quickly. I think it's a good time to buy Giannis cards, especially seeing what he's doing right now. Just absolute superhero mode. Really interesting stuff. All right, Devon Booker. Everywhere you look for Devon Booker, his cards are up. His 2015 Prism Silver PSA 10 rookie card up 117.28% since the beginning of the NBA playoffs. Pretty much straight up right along the way on a pretty decent number of sales. That's really good stuff, and he deserves it. Yeah, he only scored 10 points last night. No big deal. But obviously he's been extremely good, and he has the benefit of all the comparisons to Kobe Bryant. That's really just kind of buoying his market. He certainly deserves it. He's an excellent young player, still very young, and just has a nose for the basket, can score from every level. Great player. And his base Prism rookie card, PSA 10, that is also up 55.82%. Again, looking in particular markets, we are seeing actually some of these, higher population, even Prism-based rookie cards on the rise of late. That's not universal by any stretch, but it certainly is true for Deandre Ayton. It's also true for Devon Booker. Pretty up and down along the way, but generally an upward trajectory, up 55%. His Select Silver Prism This is the Courtside from 2015. His Courtside Silver PSA 10 rookie card, up 52.63% since the beginning of June. That's only on like 3 or 4 sales. But again, it's just been a steady increase right along the way. Awesome card too. Switching tracks then over to Chris Paul. His 2005 Topps Chrome Refractor out of 999. 4 sales during that time, down 22.41%. And again, I don't totally know what's going on with any of this stuff. You know, I kind of feel like that Simpsons meme, you know, is Principal Skinner when he's like, you know, what does he say? Am I out of touch? No, it's the kids who are wrong. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now. And some of the things that I just don't think should be happening are taking place. So Chris Paul, this is a numbered rookie card, numbered out of 999. This is probably one of the better ones that you can buy, and it's down, and he's just been excellent ever since the playoffs started. This absolutely should not be down. It just is. I guess it's an expensive card, so I understand that, but yeah, it's down. But this is really one of his only cards that is actually down. If you look at his 2005 Upper Deck Slam PSA 10 rookie card, sweet card, by the way. Look at how young he looks in that picture. I love that. I love the graffiti look to the background of the card, and you know, the yellow jersey really just pops. That is up 39.06%. That's exactly what his cards should be doing during this time. Is potentially going to be winning his first NBA Finals, put to rest all the doubters that have been, you know, saying that he just could never win the big one all his career. Well, he might win it this year, and he's already a top 5 point guard in NBA history. The point god, they call him. He deserves every percent of these gains, and anyone who's been holding him, you deserve it too. You can look at his 2005 Bowman Chrome draft picks and prospects PSA 10 rookie card. A little bit, you know, less of a gain there, but 21.17% increase since the beginning of the NBA playoffs. Not like, you know, the greatest looking card in my opinion ever made, but you know, still pretty unique. He's got that yellow jersey, which just really pops, and it should be rising, just like a lot of these cards should be rising. These players are playing really well. Last card we'll look at here today is 2005 Chris Paul Topps Base PSA 10 rookie card, up 68.65%. So I don't know why the Topps Refractor, numbered out of 999, is down, and this one is up again. Other than, you know, like the other one, we were looking at like $6,000 prices. This one we're looking at $400. So obviously you're in a few more buyers, you know, comfort zone. But this one, it is up, and it should be up. Obviously he's just been playing really, really well. He deserves everything he's getting. So, you know, what to make of all this? Now, obviously, as a Bucks fan, I want all of Giannis's cards to just be on the rise every single year, year over year, until the end of time. That's not happening right now. I do think that there are a lot of different factors that are weighing into that, and I don't want to speak about them and make anyone mad. But his market is generally down right now. There's a lot of people that don't believe in him. I think some of it has to do with the way he's covered by ESPN. There's a ton of national writers that just really love the guy, but you know, in the really mainstream media that covers Giannis, the lamestream media, he's just, you know, people don't really care about him as much, and I think that's stupid. I think eventually that will change, but right now, until he proves it by winning the big one at the end of the season, we might continue to see this type of thing. So Chris Paul's, his Chrome Refractor rookie, a lot of Giannis's market, those are some of the ones that are down where they really should be rising, and that means that long term, I think there's probably still a lot of growth to be had, and we're probably still going to see a bit of a sell-off heading into the offseason for all of these cards, which means that, you know, maybe right now is not the greatest time in the world to be buying those cards, but I think long term, there's still quite a bit of growth for some of these cards, specifically for Giannis and for Chris Paul. Deandre Ayton, Devon Booker, obviously those markets are up pretty much right across the board. That might mean this is a good time to sell, but that's pretty much up to you. You know, if you're holding and you're comfortable selling right now and pocketing the profit, good for you. Congratulations. You should just go and do that. Now, these NBA Finals viewership rating, they are up over last year, but last year was historical low since, like, I don't even know when the last time the viewership was as low as it was last year. A lot of that had to do with the fact that it was in October, and, you know, conflicting with Quite a few other sports, it wasn't the natural time of year. Now we're in July, and again, we are up over last year, but still down historically. Usually NBA Finals games are in the 15 million, 16 million, up to 20-something million range. This year, so far, I think I've been seeing like 7 million or 9 million, somewhere in that range for games so far, which means either the overall health of the NBA is down, or it's just that Bucks Suns isn't the hugest draw. And look, I'm a huge Bucks fan. I understand, like, not everyone is like super into watching Giannis versus Devon Booker play every night. I understand that. I'm not stupid. Well, I am stupid, but I do understand that at least. So if the Suns and the Bucks don't make the finals again next year, if they're not starting up, dynasties here, which probably most likely they're not going to be doing that, I would say that for some of these cards that are on their higher end right now, this would probably be a really good time to sell. They're not going to have the advantage of a huge media presence in the future years. They're probably also not going to repeat as finalists in future years, because that just is pretty hard to see happening. So might be a good time for you to sell. But I have found it interesting. I hope you did too. We have seen quite a few cards increasing through the finals. Everyone's been saying after last year that you need to sell before the playoffs because we're going to see it drop through the playoffs. That just didn't happen this year. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. Also, I think this is just the way the market goes. When people start selling, people start seeing that it's down, they start buying again. It's been an exciting playoffs, and you having two teams that are out of the ordinary, on the rise, heading into the finals. There's just a lot of people that are excited about that too. But all that being said, if you have some gains, might be a good time to sell. All right. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope that you don't hate the Bucks after this episode. And go Bucks. Bucks and 6. It's still in line to happen. So we'll see you next time.